Let's jump a little bit, Winston. Let's switch to the DC. So there's some Aquaman talk, and talking about Aquaman is James Gunn. So James Gunn had a whole thing talking about confusing. He was going back and forth with what's canon, what's not canon. And in the first episode of Peacemaker Season 1, filmmaker and DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn has suggested that Aquaman is not a well-known superhero in the new DCU. Jason Momoa first played Arthur Curry in 2016 Batman's v Superman Dawn of Justice. That cameo was followed by a proper debut in 2017's Justice League. And despite the movie's failings, Aquaman followed in 2018, splashed down to a massive $1.1 billion worldwide. The sequel was released in 2023, and while the DCEU movie was more successful than the rest of that year's DC offering, it still flopped with a disappointing $440 for its global haul. We're not sure what the plan for the King of Atlantis would have been had the DCEU stuck around, though Warner Brothers majorly dropped the ball by not properly adapting Flashpoint in The Flash. That would have seen Aquaman and Wonder Woman's respective kingdoms at war with each other. Chances are he'd have been in Crisis in Infinite Earth movie at least. Aquaman was the butt of many jokes in Peacemaker Season 1, with Christopher Smith repeatedly claiming that the hero bangs fishes. The payoff to the gag came in the finale, where Momoa showed up as Arthur alongside Ezra Miller's Flash to deny the accusations. That scene is no longer canon now that the DCEU has been replaced by the DCU, but much of the Peacemaker did still happen. Talking on Peacemaker, the official podcast, James Gunn discussed the first episode of Season 1, confirming that Bloodsport remains canon. Aquaman's celebrity status, however, does not. It's unlikely that Aquaman is a famous hero in the DCU, as Superman and Peacemaker Season 2 are happening. That's unlikely. The Superman director and DC Studio co-CEO confirmed, joking that fans can make a DCU cut of the series. Gunn added, you can cut out Aquaman banging fish. This comes after Gunn recently said we'd be waiting at least a couple of years before seeing Aquaman and the Flash in the DCU, and the expectation is that both characters will be played by new actors. It's going to be exciting to see what Gunn's take on Arthur looks like, especially as he isn't as well-known hero in this world when the events of Superman takes place. Momoa has moved on to Lobo. He talks about loving Lobo, Supergirl travels around the... Okay, so you're going to see him next as Lobo in Supergirl. But this, to me, is even more confusing than the multiverse, to be honest. It's like, and I don't really think Gunn really knows the answer of what to say. It's just like, well, that part of it, what I said there, we can still use that. But that over there, that's not. And that is. But that's not. Is there going to be an answer why? And if there's an answer to why, and you go, oh, well, that makes sense as far as why, and it's clear cut. But if you're like asking questions, well, it seems like I know the answer to this. Is Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad and all the other stuff from the DCEU? Is Margot Robbie or Harley Quinn? No, she's not. Is Gal Gadot? No, she's not. So little things that have been. This is the problem with, because he obviously loves Peacemaker, was proud of it, wants to make it part of the DCU. Had to kind of maneuver things. He made it very clear in that, I don't know if it's the same interview or not, but he made it very clear that anybody you saw in Black Adam from his DCU, that's not canon. Like Amanda Waller wasn't doing what she was doing. Harcourt was not working at the underwater prison. Like none of that is canon. He made that clear. But if you're not listening to interview, this is my question, I guess, to you right now. If you're not listening to his interviews and you're just a casual fan watching, how do you know?
My only guess here, because again, this was kind of a weird mess where like Peacemaker was his baby, so he didn't want to let that go.
Right.
I don't necessarily disagree that like Viola Davis honestly is like a perfect casting for Waller. The only thing you might change is that traditionally Waller tends to be a little like heavier set. Yep. So maybe if you wanted to go that route and see if there's another actress that can bring the same kind of energy and just fits the design of the character. But other than that, my guess is Peacemaker will have a moment. We've seen in the first teaser trailer,
right,
that Peacemaker and his crew, and probably Waller as well, end up dimension hopping, and that's why they're there. That's the only thing that would make sense. Otherwise, you are making this unnecessarily messy. And that sucks if you're trying to say this is something different. We're on some new ish. You need to have a very clean moment in Peacemaker that explains why the people that got to keep their jobs kept their jobs. Otherwise, you are just already setting yourself up to be down a touchdown at the start of the game. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, but I think the other side of it is, for the casual fan that's really just not going to really be paying attention. And I don't think it's going to be so confusing because of the fact that Superman clearly is the main focus right now.
Right.
Anything, and I would assume it would make sense. We already know from the trailer that Hawkgirl, I think, is already in the trailer as well as is Guy Gardner. Was Mr. Terrific in the trailer? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Okay, I know. Well, those two definitely were. And so to have those two in it, we already know that we're pushing forward like that. That's the main timeline, if you will. So if there's little things, I don't think the casual fan's going to go back and say, "Oh, wait a minute. What about the stuff in Black Adam?" Well, wait a minute. I think so. I'm answering my own question. The people who are really asking those questions are listening to those interviews.
Yeah.
And are paying attention to what he is saying. So they are getting the information, but I think you're not really going to care because it's Superman, it's Lanterns, it's Supergirl, it's all this other stuff that's going to push forward. And the events of Peacemaker season 2 are going to be the most relevant.
Right.
So, anyway, what do you guys make of James Gunn and his comments? Confusing? Sure. Who cares? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. Into Cloud. It feels like you're breaking the rules, but it's totally legal and better for you than that third cocktail. You work hard. Maybe you deal with life sometimes, but do you still deserve an escape? Absolutely you do. That's where Into Cloud comes in. They got gummies, they have flowers, they have pre-rolls, all federally legal, seriously fun, and just a few clicks away. Whether you're chasing better sleep, deeper intimacy, or just solid daytime relief, this is grown-up cloud chasing done right. So, if you're 21 or older, head to indocloud.co. You guys know, I'm always on the hunt for new gummies. And so, Into Cloud sent me some, and their flavors are incredible. I like it. I like that there's no hangover afterwards. I know there's no sketchy ingredients, just good energy, a solid buzz. And I just felt good. That's the whole thing. So, it sounds like a loophole, right? It's not. It's science. It's policy. And Into Cloud is using it to deliver one of the oldest medicines known to man in the modern, fun, and absolutely dialed-in way possible. Over 50,000 people are already choosing Into Cloud because feeling good should feel this easy. So, if you're 21 or older, now's your chance to float above the stress because Into Cloud is giving all new customers 25% off their first order plus free shipping. Use that code Christian. Or click the link in the show notes to claim your discount. That is indocloud.co, indacloud.co. Use that code Christian for free shipping plus 25% off your first order. Order now. Fill out their quick survey to support the show and enjoy the best part of your week. Brought to you by Into Cloud.